Chad Wolf, former acting secretary for the Department of Homeland Security and executive director and chair of the Center for Homeland Security and Immigration at America First Policy Institute. Great to see you this morning, Chad. Thanks for taking the time. So first, your reaction to this massive raid. Officials nabbing more than 50 confirmed Tren de Aragua gang members. They also seized cocaine, firearms, thousands of dollars in cash.
Well, obviously it's a great operation. You're taking dangerous individuals off the streets there in Texas. I think this is a good partnership with the Texas Department of Public Safety and obviously with ICE and DHS law enforcement. So good cooperation there. I think it's interesting, though, because San Antonio for a number of years was a sanctuary city inside the state of Texas. The attorney general there over the last couple of years had to sue them to actually compel them to start working with immigration and customs enforcement. So I think this is a good model to say, look, we just want to keep the streets of San Antonio safe. And if you work with us, we'll be able to pull a lot of dangerous folks off the streets.
Yeah, it seems like San Antonio is starting to fall in line there. So I want to turn to this, an illegal migrant stealing the identity of a Minnesota man. So critics say the New York Times gave him sympathy, put the illegal migrant on the same playing field as the man whose identity he stole. So the headline here, two men, one identity, they both paid the price. The illegal alien, quote, lived under enough names and numbers in the United States, they started to blur together. The illegal immigrant was deported 3 times, charged with 4 DUIs and a number of other crimes. Chad, what do you make of the New York Times headline here? I don't think you're probably surprised, though.
I'm not surprised. This is more of the same from the Times and from other left-leaning newspapers and the like. And we see this time and time again. They dismiss the victim time and again. They dismiss the victim, and they will play the sympathy card for that illegal alien or for whoever that may be, instead of saying, well, let's actually focus on the victim here, who was victimized by someone that shouldn't have been in the country to begin with, and focus there. But they don't. They try to play that sympathy card so that people feel sorry and that, you know, your guard is down in a certain sense. We need to be very clear about stealing identities or doing other things that are illegal from anyone that's an illegal alien. It should never occur. They should never be here in the first place. And so all of those types of crimes are all preventable.
Yeah, no, they absolutely are. I want to turn to the uptick in attacks that we're seeing on federal immigration officials. Homeland Security reporting attacks on ICE agents are up more than 1,000% this year. They blame the rhetoric coming out of sanctuary cities. In the meantime, Democrats on the House Oversight Committee launching a new platform to directly target ICE. Take a listen.
Today, we are launching the Oversight Immigration Enforcement Dashboard. This is a project that essentially records possible misconduct by ICE and DHS across the country after an incident occurs. The dashboard collects information about possible misconduct against not just immigrants, but also U.S. citizens.
Right. So the misconduct they're talking about are when an ICE agent pulls someone over and takes them out of their vehicle and into custody. They're just doing their job, though, Chad, but yet they are getting violent threats every single day they're out there.
Well, absolutely. And look, I equate this a little bit to what you've seen on, at the Department of Defense, where you had those 7 or 8 members come on and say it's okay to defy a legal order if you're given it. What you have here is you have Democratic members of Congress saying it's the law enforcement that's the issue. We are conducting oversight on them. Our focus is overreach by law enforcement. Instead of saying, law enforcement has a very dangerous job, we're going to back them. And the actual people that we're going to keep an eye on and oversight on are the criminals, are the folks that shouldn't be here in the country legally, aren't here legally to begin with. Instead, they turn it 180 degrees and they focus on law enforcement.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking at some of the signs that they were holding up there at one of those protests. It said, immigrants make this country great. Yes, they do when they're here legally.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's right. Chad Wolf, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Information. Truth. Is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.